Hi, and welcome to another video. Thanks again for everyone who's watched the other ones. What I'd like to talk to you about, as the title suggests, is the altered state and trance. Trance mediumship is a passive form of mediumship, and that when we're doing our readings and our demonstrating, we're in an active form of mental mediumship as well. We're actively engaged in the process. And what we're trying to do with trance mediumship is become in a very sedate within ourselves. Our thoughts don't get in the way, so we need to be in a very passive state to allow that to happen. In the mechanics of mediumship, we talked about the attune, blend and communicate. So the attunement for this will be our intention to sit for trance, to build your energy up. The basic aspect of the attunement, is the same for all disciplines within mediumship. The blend of what we're trying to do with trance, though, is to become that quieter mind as well, to really be quiet within yourself, and as always just focusing upon your breath. Useful aspect in any aspect in development is just to allow the breath to soften and to ease yourself into a nice quiet space within your thoughts, but then allow the thoughts to fade and allow yourself just to become nice and calm, nice and still. And as the power expands out, we welcome those forward that work with you, and as they come forward, they blend their power with your own, so they begin to integrate their energy with your auric field. They're not taking over the body by any means, nothing like that. They're extending their thoughts and their strength into your auric field, and that blends them together. It's like, as I always say, like a Venn diagram that we get in maths and in those maths lessons, and it's the two auric fields blending as one. We just come together, two auric fields, blend, cross over and connect in, and then it's that overlap is where your blend is with your communicator. But over time we want that overlap to be bigger, stronger, so you're fully immersed in their soul power as well. Your soul self is immersed in their soul power as well, and that allows them to bring their wisdom, their guidance forward. Of what they would like to talk about in a trance demonstration, which can vary from a lecture to a teaching principle with that, or it can actually over time with a trance medium develop it into a process called trance communication, where the loved ones, the family and friends of those present, can come forward and blend with the medium directly. And that you don't hear about it too often or see it be done too often. At least I haven't anyway. And it's a unique aspect of a very direct contact with a loved one. And it has to be very factual like that as well. So that's when the loved one is coming forward that way. You can also have the guides given doing a trance clairvoyance. So it's like your friend and spirit, as they merge with you, doing a demonstration of mediumship, like the way you would. Very simply, that's all it is. And it's allowing them the opportunity to show another aspect of your trance. And so that's the speaking aspect, and that's what that is for. And it's very simply, it takes time to develop the trance, and it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in 1 year, maybe 2 years. It's something that over a commitment, a persistence, and just allowing yourself to immerse within that power with your communicator as well. There's going to be a lot of you to begin with, and it can only be, not that we can actually put a number to substantiate it, but like 1-2% spirit, 99-98% you, and then gradually That's one way of looking at it. There's 5% spirit, 95% you, and that, and we build the bonds that way. So we try to get as much of spirit forward as possible in that sense. And the more calm you can be, the more quiet within your own mind, the more potentially spirit can merge with you and get that more factual information through with that. And what also is to show where the blend and the bond is, not just with maybe physical characteristics changing with the medium, mannerisms and that as well. I'll say it this way: we can all put on a funny voice any stage and talk. Can it be sustained for 2-3 hours at a time? Is one aspect I would ask. But one thing that is and cannot be manufactured by the medium, or some portraying to be in trance when they're not, is the energy. The trance energy is, it draws you in. It really pulls at you, and you should feel that pull within your own energy centers as well. Some get it from their solar plexus, some get it from their crown, some from their throat. They're just, the energy has been drawn to the medium to be used to help support the process that's happening at that time as well. So that's when you really can feel that is full trance that's building at that point. And you can feel what the air pressure changes as well. You can feel the atmosphere change. There's no way. And it's not something sometimes you can fully register maybe on a barometer or that, but you can certainly feel it. So it's in the energetic quality of the space. And I've been with a medium before, and there's the smell of ether. This energy is just built, and there's a sweet burning smell just came from the medium with that as he was talking, which was a wonderful experience, and everyone in the room kind of experienced it, and it was great. And that was just one small aspect of that. And he wasn't even in trance at the time, but it was the power of the spirit that was coming forward. And through his auric field, the atmosphere was changing. So that was like, when I say he wasn't in trance at the time, he was still going into a light, inspirational aspect. Because with trance, you have varying stages of it, an inspirational trance and inspirational speaking. You'd be going into that kind of passive state and speaking. But gradually, as you build upon it and go deeper and delve deeper into it, that's where the bonds build, and you go into that further state of trance, and you can get that connection building. Of course, then you can go into when no speaking is done and trance healing is done as well, and that can be contact, right hand on the person in front of you, on their shoulders and their head. That's all it needs to be, because the power goes where it's needed. Or it can be without any contact as well, and it's worked through the auric field of the person sitting in front of you with that. And it's through you sit in the presence of that power, your auric field expands, and then that allows that to work upon the person sitting before you. And it's straightforward. As I always say, keep mediumship simple with that, and there's no better way with that. But there's also other aspects of it, of trance, and it's physical mediumship. And it's something that I thoroughly enjoy sitting for, and have done in the past. And I've witnessed some wonderful physical mediumship being done as well through other mediums. I've had the luxury of shaking hands with a spirit person as well. It sounds a little bit strange, but with physical mediumship, there's certain do's and don'ts, okay, and you have to follow protocol that's needed, okay. With a trance circle, you have your circle leader, and they are the end all and be all when it comes to giving instruction on what needs to be done within a circle. Okay, and that's vital. and they will guide the circle for development. But for physical mediumship, that is more important than anything else. Of a role, because when you have a physical medium working as well, their safety is entrusted into the circle leader with that, to make sure all protocols are followed and adhered to. The energy within a physical circle is all directly connected to the physical medium as well, be it in just the energetic quality that's there, or if a medium's at a later stage of development and there has been production of some sort of ectoplasm with that as well, which is an energy which is from the medium, from the sitters, from spirit, all combining a part together, and it's produced through the physical medium. Okay, and if there's a sudden movement in the room by the sitters with that, that will cause a disturbance within the room, and could be dangerous to the physical medium. Okay, mediumship as always is lovely and it's safe to work with, but with physical mediumship there is a risk that can be there, just for the physical medium more so than anyone else, if the protocols are not adhered to as well. Okay, and in the past we've had incidents happen within our movement where protocols weren't looked at, and injuries were resulted as well with that, and worse. So we need to be looking at what's needed to be done to protect the medium at all cost as well. So we say the ectoplasm is the energy between the sitters and the medium that's being built up, and it's clear, it can't be seen, and then those in spirit do something with this power that allows it to, from what I've seen it as, almost like a milky white substance with that, and it can change shape and form. It can extend out from the medium and lift objects, move them around with that. It have a spirit trumpet, so it's a cone, an aluminium cone, cardboard cone. It's something that amplifies, like a megaphone is what it turns it into. And with the ectoplasm, the spirit form like a voice box external to the medium, and that can be on the medium's body, on the shoulder, or in the trumpet, and that's where it commonly is associated with, in the trumpet. So the voice is then amplified by the spirit trumpet, so you may hear the voice of a loved one that you know with that, and the tone, if the clarity comes into that degree, the tone of the voice will be exactly the same, and the wording and what way they talk could be identical with that, what you know them to be. And it's such a lovely experience. I've come across it a few times, and it's great. And I've seen objects move around and defy gravity as well, which has been interesting to say the least. But for me, it was seeing the energy form from a medium solar plexus, and it was like a heat haze. That's what it looked like to begin with. It's like a clear heat haze. Then it became more rippled effect to it, and it looked like liquid, looked like water, and then through that, like a stump moved out from the medium solar plexus. Now I could see his hands were cable tied in, and as this energy rolled across the table, yes, we're in a dark room, but the table was lit by red light, and so the room was lit up with this red light, and you could see his hands tied in right before me, and this energy rolled out across the table, and a stump formed, a fist formed, and then the fingers formed, and then reached out, picked up my hand, shook my hand, and dematerialized back into the solar plexus. So it certainly was a unique experience I wasn't expecting, and it's something I'll never forget as well. The dexterity was in that, no problem with that. So, and it was interesting to see it dematerialize again right before me. So like I've had first account and bear witnesses firsthand, literally. So it's something that I'll never forget, and I'll hold that into my life, and hopefully I will get to see that communicator that did that when my time comes to go across. And so it's a wonderful experience, but it's a lot of dedication that's needed as well. When I was sitting for physical, it was every Monday night, 8 o'clock. Always about six of us set every Monday night. There was a few others invited from time to time, but it was always a core of 6 of us that set, and for about an hour and a half, 2 hours as well. And we followed procedures and what we were told and guided by Spirit to do with that, and certain things happened within the environment during that space of time each Monday. Always something different as well, and to keep it truthful too. Again, I would have been, as a lot of physical mediums would be, tied into a chair with that, to show my ankles and my arms tied into, it was like a fireside chair, and so it gave me good back support with this. And it was they're all mediums in the group, but it's always good to have a very rational person in the group as well, and that rational person was the one to do the tying in as well, and then someone else inspected that too. So, and then different phenomena and things happened as well, but it was still only early days. Okay, so when life gets a little bit more settled, hopefully I can get back and sit to that degree again. But once you allow yourself the opportunity to sit and build that power up, that will be there for when the time comes later down the line. And it is a joyous occasion. I've always left a seance thinking like those outside and in the world around us don't realise how close the world actually is as well. So I feel very privileged in some of the things I've witnessed in those settings as well, and seeing some wonderful reunions being done too. So trance is certainly something to go and explore if you can. And it's not for every medium, as I've said before, and but if you do get the opportunity to sit, you can develop like trance communication, the trance speaking aspect, and the initial stages of it, and for healing particularly, you can sit and develop that power by yourself, no problem. So just allow yourself the opportunity to go and explore, get to know the team that work with you, and see what happens. I'll record a meditation for trance sitting, and I'll put that up. It'll be like a blending one, and go from there. So I hope that has been insightful for you. If any questions upon it, that's again, it's only like an overview. It's a general quicker overview of trance. But if there's enough to get you thinking about it, go and exploring a bit, I would say go and look up some of the wonderful mediums we had in the past as well. And Minnie Harrison, the Trumpet Circle, and there's a lovely video which I'll see if I can put a link here as well, with Tom Harrison, and about the Trumpet Circle that his mother ran, and all their wonderful experiences. So there's loads there to look at too. So thanks again for watching. We'll explore this again at another stage, and enjoy your development.